Check this out. This guy is really something. Time for bed, old friend. A rainy camping episode perfect for bedtime. It's a lifesaver for those who have trouble sleeping at night. It guarantees you will sleep until you wake up on your own. I bet your phone battery is under 70% today, and your left foot is crossed over your right one. Now hurry up and get into bed. Turn the volume to a good level. Join me for this moment of relaxation. Nice weather today. The view is really bright and pleasant. The man walks with a steady, strong stride again. He makes it to the deep mountains. Since he loves camping, he needs to each month spend a few days living in the mountains. But as a man who is the chosen one, every time he heads out, a big downpour always hits. This time he doesn't want to get soaked like a drowned rat. To keep any mishaps from happening, he still decides to build the shelter first. And this bamboo tube is the best material for building the foundation. The man firmly puts them together in a grid pattern. Based on his experience from past camping spots, this time he will build the foundation higher, so even if a mudslide passes by, it can't cause any trouble for his shelter. Sure enough, in the middle of talking, the sky opens up with heavy rain. The ground quickly becomes a flowing stream. No wonder he's the so-called chosen one. Still the usual clear plastic wrap. Still the same old familiar steps. Good thing the bottom is raised higher this time. It hasn't been affected too much. Even though he's already completely soaked, he still doesn't quit. After all this sudden storm, no telling when it will hit again. He has to finish the shelter first, otherwise he might not survive today out here. Now he has brought over some fresh green bamboo tubes, splits each one into 2 halves, then turns them into bamboo strips, thanks to the length being just right. Not too soft and not too hard. It works perfectly to build a bamboo hut for himself. He bends these bamboo strips into arches, from big rings to small rings, one circle after another, making an arched outline frame. To make it more solid, he weaves these bamboo strips in a crisscross pattern, creating a grid frame that can bear weight. At the connections he uses wire to make them stronger, making them stay closely linked. Next, the guy keeps shaping more bamboo strips to make the interior more spacious. He plans to set up a shelf in the back area so he can put inside some basic everyday things. Now, while the weather is clear for a bit, he uses plastic wrap to cover the top, wrapping it up one layer at a time. This not only keeps rainwater from soaking through, and it also does a great job holding in heat. At least you feel safer sleeping at night. But just the back part alone still isn't enough to improve the overall ceiling. The man makes a hinge by hand from a bamboo tube at the bottom. After securing it in place, he just attaches the bamboo strips that fit perfectly, using one point as the center, making a movable arched line. To make it even more sturdy, he secures it on one side with bamboo strips. Now this shelter that can be raised and lowered already has its rough shape. Even though the space doesn't seem too large, the whole design is really very practical. If you don't know how you can learn from this, who knows, it might come in handy when you go camping later. As the sky slowly turns dark, the man begins the final step. He wraps the whole roof entirely with plastic wrap. Since the base area is quite muddy, the man who likes cleanliness still attaches a few fresh green bamboo tubes to act as support beams. On top he uses bamboo strips to make a floor, so even if it pours heavily, he has a spot to step on. For the parts that are too long, the man uses a saw to snip them all off. Finally he puts in some warm lights. The whole shelter looks a lot more cozy as darkness comes. Rain the size of soybeans pours down. Sure enough, the weather here is like a whiny kid. If it doesn't hit you a few times each day, it won't let up. But he is used to this kind of life. The pouring rain spreads over the ground. The sound of drops mixes with the earthy smell, keeping him breathing fresh, clean air the whole time. Good thing the man had the foresight. He set up mud shields early. That way he can at least walk around easily. As he says that the raindrops grow larger. The man quickly closes the door. You can't deny that rainy camping is exciting and fresh. The sound of rain hitting not only helps with sleep, it also cleanses and refreshes your spirit. The most important thing is having a warm shelter. On a day like this, eating a hot tasty meal makes your whole body feel a lot more comfortable. He makes himself a bowl of corn mush, eating and enjoying the view at the same time. This is a full day of camping out in nature. Not a super fancy life, but it's plain and happy. Being alone is truly enjoyable. There's no city hustle and bustle here. Every now and then you only hear animals calling out. Finally, to the sound of dripping rain, the man drifts off to sleep peacefully.